Oh, it's so wonderful when things don't go the way you want it to. Anyway, don't know why you've been altered. There we go. The good news, no one's here yet. The bad news, I have other crap to deal with. So what we're gonna do is take this, do that. Let's see. Oh god damn it. Bring you here. Huh? Oh, and I think I better off do you yep, yep, and yep. Most people won't be around anyway. And I do have something I need to take care of because of some BS. But I seriously. Alright, so I have to deal with it later because are you serious? I tell it to open a program and it freaking opens something else. Thanks, Microsoft, you morons. Can I close this? Do that. Do that. Close that. And that really got to do with my wage theft at this point. So wonderful. But enough of that. We have other issues because Microsoft is moronic. For example, you. Ah, yes. The reflection of me having no one here. Anyway, I'm gonna try to figure this out because the way I'm understanding it, aside from stupid ads all over the freaking place, which I've come to ignore, I've learned to ignore. Which, granted, yes, it gives websites money, but sometimes it's not worth it. Sometimes it's really not worth it. So what I'm understanding is you have the game itself, which will encompass the players and NPCs, which is hilarious they would use it for Minecraft. Because the morons don't seem to understand that, maybe actually put some work and effort into it. But then again, it's not the developers running things, so not a surprise. A bunch of nobodies who don't really know how to make a game, telling other people who know how to make a game what they should and shouldn't do. So yeah, improve experience via player feedback. NPCs give us an experience controller, whatever that means. Then it's supposed to share that to the memory controller, which memory controller is basically a chip that handles memory, allowing reading and writing to the RAM, which will make sense because servers. Fine. So it takes that information, it takes whatever is relevant, whatever is not relevant, and proceeds to, well, sort it, essentially. And then you have an NPC controller, which is already stupid, AI in games, they already exist. But then it's also supposed to lead to player feedback loop, which goes back and forth to deal with the NPCs, which makes no damn sense because if you take Minecraft, I want the villagers to kill everything. Guess what? They will because I mean, you just gave it input. It's saying okay, runs with it. That's retarded. You want self-feedback loop between generative models and NPC controller. Here's the thing. Bad and good is subjective. A computer can't make that distinction. So what happens when mhm, you're talking about okay, you know the little little feedback loop between the experience that's occurring and the feedback from the players going into itself to create the so-called experience with the NPCs, which it's not really going to work out because talking about it wants to talk. All right, well, if it goes to talk, what will it say? That's This is what I mean by issues. Because the problem is, talking about definitions say generative models. Well, that's not it. Ah, yes. Or generative AI refers to a type of artificial intelligence that specializes in creating new original content across various platforms, which that is beyond debatable. You're saying you can create text. Stare today almost majority of programs for the past 30 years. It's like, yeah, no. Well, I say 30, probably 40 at this point. So I really want to push it. So, no. Images and other media. Audio is going to be funny, but that would be stupid. Images, let's just put it this way. The artists online are starting to find ways to counter AI, and it's highly effective, and there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, that means expending a lot of time and effort. Eh. But the problem with that is talking about no, stop it. Generative adversarial networks and transformers. Training, which isn't really training. Appli- and then you're talking about, well, it wants adversarial networks. All right, what are those? Talking about a powerful class of neural networks. What's a neural network? Basically, a bunch of code that's supposed to simulate or emulate a human brain. Well, not necessarily human, just a brain in general. But the problem is, learning, it's it's just amazing how stupid they went into this. Also, I need to change this real quick. There we go. Let me guess. OBS. Yep. No OBS. No. Don't do it. It wasn't. What the? Oh, I don't know why that's there. But yeah, it makes no damn sense. So you want to sit here and tell me you have an AI that can learn, which I mean, honestly, you're talking about so-called generative, and gonna make stuff, but you don't need half the crap they keep talking about because you just need to think about the concept of learning and everything else. Put it to code. There you go. So it doesn't really work out as probably work as much as they would want to. Then you're saying, okay, you want to take that idea of learning model, and I'm going to assume that these so-called generative models are connected. Basically, just one thing itself, just being pointed out at different processes. Because I'm assuming it's 202, 202. So, all right, fine. The problem I'm having is the fact that, okay, you have the experience controller, whatever that means. Because you have memory controller, which is an actual component within a computer. The experience controller, that could be anything. I don't know, it's going to assume software. And I'm assuming that's another reason why Microsoft's trying to push with AI chips, which is still retarded. Because computers worth fine all this time, you don't need it. And then you're talking about, okay, let's just say whatever they have is able to catalog or categorize whatever. They take that experience controller, send it to the generative model. How is that going to be parsed? Or at least, memory controller here. Because, I mean, unless I mean, it wouldn't make any sense to go to the generative model unless it's gone to the memory. Because otherwise, it's going to look at it. Unless that's the point, it's supposed to help decipher it for the memory. It makes no sense. So whatever they have, that's most likely what is probably happening. Because, like I said, it can interpret it, it can freaking make it more understandable for the computer itself, and then maybe send it off to the memory controller. It's called your bullshit of sending me information, damn it. Because if they do this, it won't block people from, say, making their own AI based game because mine is not a generative model. Mine isn't a freaking this generative AI that they think is so great. It's like it really isn't. Because the problem is you have the narrative experience creator, and that is is it a person or is it software? Because they're saying this so-called AI is going to be fed to the experience controller and go back, which makes no sense. That's the only thing it's translating. or something that would make sense is translating it. So it could go to the memory controller, so it can then be sorted to be written on RAM, which is going to be on a server, which I think they're highly underestimating the bullshit. Because, oh, we could have, say a petabyte of memory or RAM. You underestimate the gamers, you fools. But then again, they're not gamers themselves. Well, the ones leading, that is. Developers, I can believe being gamers. I mean, that's the whole point. You create something and you be able to play with it. But the problem is the memory controller goes to NPC controller, which also doesn't make any sense because you're basically saying, yeah, it provides game state info to inform prompt creation. So say for example the NPCs ask something. They have some little code just for that. That's isolated so it can't be altered. Fine. You say, I want the villagers to kill everyone. It's alright, fine. It goes here, goes to generative model. Generative model, if it starts learning, or if enough people say that and it starts learning, everyone's game will be ruined because villagers will become a nuisance, or even worse, they're talking about spawn a crap ton more creepers. They don't realize you always have malicious people out there, and if they wanted to change the model, they can because it's quote unquote learning when it's really not. It's being influenced. No, Zerg. Not generating AI girlfriend. It's called Women Need to Be Adults. Instead of, pathetic little children running around pretending that men must always earn more than $1 million a year. You must support my lifestyle because your money is my money and my money is my money. Yeah. You know, human stupidity because they forgot that teaching children is quite important, especially if we want retirement. But when the women, or at least one of the genders, goes full retard, that becomes a little more difficult. See, but here's the other thing too: player feedback loop. So the NPC controller, which I'm assuming the NPCs interact with the players interact with NPCs. Um, Here's a quick question: what happens if they want something? Say specific like I want mods of from Create or Ars Navajo. It won't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So that idea is thrown out the window. So say, okay, fine, make it down. I want a cog block that spins around when X, Y, or Z, whatever condition you want to give it. Would it be able to do that? Would it even understand the word cog? Would it understand any of the thing I would have said? No, Zerg. Well, it's not as bad, Zerg. I mean, I just got signed up involuntarily to an IRA to a company that I never heard of, and they don't respond worth a damn. So I'm gonna have to freaking threaten them, essentially. So I might be out of a job real soon because stop taking my money. Because seriously, what the fuck? Because that actually may cause me to quit immediately, just because of the fact that I'm working to have a portion of my paycheck cut off for so-called retirement, which won't work, and I never freaking gave consent to anyway. And the funny part, you can't do shit about it. And it's like, well, you can sign out. It's like, yeah, but you gave my information to a company I had never heard of, and they definitely didn't consent to. So, well, I guess you guys don't want me around. Oh well. Oh, and I already looked up the legal aspects of it. No one can be blamed on that. So, eh. It's like fine. I'll just fuck over the company. Say you won't get a paycheck. You can have my information. That means I gotta freaking guard other things much more vigilantly because of the idiocy of one person. Yeah, fun times. Just like freaking this bullshit. Okay, I'm looking at it. It's like design initial experience. Oh no. Well, Mojang better start retiring, or at least looking for another location, because if Microsoft does implement this, which will not work well, I can guarantee it will not work well because you have anarchy. Anarchy is a literal server that survived off of, well, its namesake, anarchy. So, everyone's server going to shit because, multiplayer. Well, guess what? Everyone's going to be playing by themselves. Playing by yourself is boring. Well, you got to have isolated groups. All it takes is one person to say the wrong thing and it screws everything up. Yeah, no, in this generation, who have been unhinged and don't give a damn what they say or what are being careful with tact. Yeah, I'm gonna say this is gonna ruin Minecraft to the point where it will die, which will be funny, really funny, and I hope they do it because your Minecraft movie's in 3 months. I can't freaking freaking spend time to do anything else, so I'm probably gonna have to drop that. And besides, Minecraft isn't a good investment at this point. But from what I'm looking at, these so-called generative models and all this other crap, it's like you want to talk about you design the initial one, you narrative experience creative. Oh no. It's a software. Because generative model is also there and it has both lines. Design experience, meaning the designers make it, and then improve experience via player feedback. So basically, they want, you know what? No. Close all of this because I know exactly what they want. They want you to do the work, have the AI fill the workers' side of things, and they just sit back and do nothing. How retarded is Microsoft at this point? Because I'm starting to, at this point, I need to condition my mind to stop having any kind of hope that people have brains. Because looking at it and thinking about it, there was no damn way they could have thought for 5 seconds to think this would work. Like, there's no damn way. I mean, even their own servers would get nuked. Here's the other issue, can they roll that back? You know what? It doesn't matter. Overall, basically, they want free work and no pay. So they can make, so called, make more money. You're not making more money. You're just. It's, instead of focusing on ways to be cheap, they need to focus on ways to, actually do something half decent. You know what? No. The plan is the same. Compete with them. Compete with them by simply doing this. Boop. Code. Go make your own code. Go make the freaking. Oh, I actually do need something though. So I'm gonna put you here. I take you there. Because that is definitely without a doubt retarded. They have no idea what they're doing. They're trying to be cheap without actually putting in the efforts to make money. So fine. Just like this idiot who made OpenGL and has failed miserably. You know, unfortunately, I also freaking put a break on OpenGL after the like from previous streams I was making it. Apparently, I literally was a month off, and he put it out there in full. It's like you dick. Oh, speaking of which, let me just make sure it actually runs properly. 'Cause I think I ran into a problem where it's just all I needed was, tell it to. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So everything's set. I just need to actually make a window. Okay, the main problem is it's from. Oh, actually, there's one more thing I want to add. It's I got to deal with, all this other BS. I am not going to ask about that. Anyway, come on. There we go.
Turn on the magic.
No. Go away. Alright, let's see. I think that's a bit. Yep. There we go. Alright, so just in case if it decides to pull something and blow up your eardrums. You know what, let's... Give me a part of your damn... There you go. Eh. Looks normal. Oh, what's this? Oh, okay. I was about to say, like, I'm glad. Because essentially I'm just copying and pasting, but I'm typing it out because, quite honestly, practice is needed. The problem is I also need to see what he's doing, then I can compare it with the other one I have because I want to make my own, and because, you know, they tell you how to get from A to B, but didn't exactly, you know, teach. Because it seems like no one knows how to teach nowadays, and it's pathetic. And they wonder why everything is falling apart. It's falling apart because no one knows how to do anything. So they gotta figure out how to do things by going back to scratch. Which is counterintuitive. Simply because, one, how the hell are they supposed to build upon it? The species has freaking done this for thousands of years and they still don't get it. Unsigned. Well, nope. Unsigned would be useful here. Just call it with. Because quite frankly, you don't want... unsigned basically means you have... Well, basically put it, you have integers. Integers are just numbers. Negative, positive, whatever. Unsigned removes negatives. So essentially, you go to 0, that's it. So say, for example, it has, I think it was 8 bits. 8-bit of memory allocated to it. Using, or at least using 8-bit as an example, because I think you could swap it out to 2, maybe 1. And I think it's 256 is the highest you can go at 8-bit. And once it hits that, it just cycles back and goes back to 0. And that is how Gandhi became a freaking warlord. Because when it counted numbers, they forgot to take into account, you know, max and lower. Put in integers to say, this is the max and lower. Check to see if it reaches here. They didn't do that. So when it freaking went to max and kept going, it reverted back to 0. Which basically made it from extremely passive to, I'm going to murder you. It's like, okay, great. Fun thing about freaking programming. But see, I only knew that because I actually used this. Well, kind of use it. I don't really have much use for unsigned unless it's like certain constraints I want to put in there inherently. But that's the fun part. Anyway. Ah, this is what I was looking for. Is there one for Mac? Or is... Wait. I have questions. Nope, it's Mac. Okay. Linux, I don't know. I'll maybe find the code on later on. Maybe. Because I don't know. But, if it works, it works. What I need right now is... Oh, in OBS I need a... Okay, no, it's just cutting it out. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. But yeah, Microsoft is being beyond stupid with that. You know what? I think I am gonna do it. Initiate GLFW. Don't need anything else. Ah, forgot about the hints. But it's necessary to start it all up. W underscore context underscore version underscore major. And then minor. Which is the other thing. Probably if... You know what? Nope, minor. 3.3. Of course, I'm being a freaking inconsiderate idiot. And the funny thing is, there is one person out there who keeps complaining, "Oh, don't go with OpenGL." It's like I don't think he understands that. Yeah, no, I want this. Yes, I know. Calm your freaking tits. OpenGL forward compat. This is the other reason too, which is good. I mean, would have figured it out later, sooner or later. And then there you go. There. Now you stop complaining to me. That's basically to enable Mac. So all it's gonna do is be read, sees that. So, okay, fine. Boop. Puts it on. Just confirms. Shin. Create window with. Oops. With height test, because I don't know if this is gonna be good or not. Because I need to give it. I need it to render. I need to, be able to do UI and everything else. It's just I gotta put it all back together. Right, and if it doesn't actually need to check, which hold on, we'll just call it that. Oops. You left out. You know what? Yeah, specify. Because if I say, for example, I'm coming in groggy, whatever, and I terminate. If I don't remember that I'm working on freaking OpenGL and thinking with the Win32, yeah, gotta be specific like the computer is. W make context current window. See, or commands like that is what's kind of pissing me off. And I don't mean because it's something it does. It's just they say put it here, do this, but then they don't really explain it. It's like, oh, it just makes sure it's stays to this window, and this is what it's like. Yeah, how? What's happening behind the works? Beyond that, it's the same thing like say doing for loops. What is it doing? Each command is, well, a command. Tell me what the hell the command is doing. Load glad. Is it glad or yeah? How does yeah? Not glad. Load GL loader. Load procedure. W procedure address. Okay. Glad. Yeah, because if you can't do glad, it won't be able to do the next bit. Render loop. Window should close. Specify who. Well. Clear color. Need to specify it. Nah. I think I'd rather have it this way. That way you can just see it. This would be simpler. Just come down here, deal with all of it, blah blah blah. Gets rid of GL clear. GL underscore color underscore buffer underscore bit2. Input output events. DFWs, buffers, pull events. Oops. Okay. Because his note's saying swap buffers and pull events, keys spread a lot, which, I mean, it's. Ooh. That's a no. What's this? Processes all pending events. This function processes only those events that are already in the event queue and then returns immediately. Processing events will cause a window and input call by associated with those events to be called on some platforms. Window move resize meaning yeah. See, but then it goes things like this where it's like it gives you a full-on description if I hover over it, but then I go to something else that's clear. It's like, okay, can you give me input? I gotta move this. All events. Oh, that's right. He also put something else past the terminate. Which this part, I think he did differently too. If should close true. Size callback. When the size changes, this callback function executes. Okay. No, I'll keep it. Of course, void because it doesn't need to return anything. Process. Input. Point to the window. That's the other thing people don't understand either, is the fact that you can know the lingo doesn't mean crap if you don't understand how it works. Equal TFW press underscore press. Of course I do that because I'd like to be able to see. Oh, okay. Well, unless it's short like this, where just add that and then do set window should close. Oop, sure. Oh, god damn it, Geo. No, already fixated on C++, demanding things be done a certain way. Frame buffer, guy's size, just call callback. Window. Let's see, window. With height. So make sure the viewport matches the new window dimensions. Note that the width and height will be seen larger than specified on retina displays. Just viewport and width. Got it. No. Width and height. Gotcha. Nope. Stop that. Put those together, put that together. And he's saying it should work. Should is the key. Yep, there we go. Now we're just going to test the other cards. Let's see, OBS. Yep. I need you. Boop. Since I'm rebuilding this engine from scratch, I want to make sure it's the way I want it to be. But if things go wrong or, you know, something happens, say like for example, oh, speaking of which, yep, good. That is excellent. Okay, I'm gonna need this anyway. Now I need to. Now the thing is, I'll probably go into their reference sheet from OpenGL and find a way to disable it. So you have the. So we have like an option setting I could change. You know, if you want full window, borderless, whatever. But if you want it windowed, you want to be able to adjust it yourself. Well, actually, no. Maybe just make it a check mark. Just say if you want to adjust it. Just do a boolean in there where it says if it's windowed, then it activates. If it's not windowed, then you can't do it regardless. Like it's gonna be set to the resolution that you set. That should be fine. Okay. Because yeah, creating the windows is always simple. The problem is everything else. Yeah, because all you're doing is just saying I activate these. Basically give it the basic things it needs. Like okay, with well this is not necessary because say with height. No, you go window corporation. Also, you can add notes. Hold on. Close program. I need to have window resize function. Oh, that's the other thing I want to do. I need to run it one more time because I didn't test it. And that's the one thing, it's like, yeah, it takes more time, but it's always better, and it works. It's always best to test every step of the way, because if something doesn't work, you don't want it to pop up later. Because if it does, well, now you gotta go figure out where it is a problem, and then freaking, it doesn't affect anything else. It's like, yeah, tedious, but necessary. Beyond necessary. So, that's the window, it's done. He gave a little bit extra more than I wanted, but that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Creating the windows easy. Texture shaders. Shaders was years ago. Multiple times I tried to go through this multiple times, try to get help. Nobody was willing to help. They were too busy smelling their own farts up their ass. Which was the annoying part, because if you want to fix a problem, you have to be willing to listen. If you can't listen, well, you're not much help. Okay, source code. And then I do need to review this on my own though. Yeah, because I still remember it. Yeah, VAO, VBO. I think this is a better way he's explaining it though, the way he's showing it. Because you have pointers, and then it gives it a certain position, color. Yeah, yeah. Oh wait. Oh, VAO too, right? Because you can actually designate it as such. But because there's a whole process for it, and it's what 12 bits. So every coordinate is for. Oh God. Yeah. I'll do with the whole optimization later. That's gonna be purely on the engine side. That's definitely something I'm gonna have to do later. You know what? I think that's what I'll do too. Let's bring you down. I don't need you. I do need you. Because sometimes people do come in and talk. Which, yeah. Let's see. Frame buffer, give it a freaking that. Alright. I forgot. Character. Text. Shader source. Well, mainly because I'm not gonna. He's put the code as characters, essentially letters. That's for at least readable. Boop. There. So that's actually a shader. That's outright coded shader, straight into it, which is funny, but and of course, headers and everything else want to keep things separated or at least organized in a way. Yeah, that there. Apple, window creation, and then check, make context, load glad. Here we go, and then you have something for the vertex here. Let's see. Shader. No, program. Because I can't say shader because that would have other implications. Alright, unside integer. exposure, vertex shader, create shader. There. I wonder what was happening. Okay. Shader. Funny enough, I actually... no, I think I know. I think I would know, because the amount of idiots keep saying graphics is everything in a game. It's not. It really isn't. Vertex shader source. See, and then there's this. Okay. Yep. Misspelling. There we go. Vertex shader source. There's a point. Okay. What is this? No? Compiler shader, blah, blah, blah. Where is vertex shader source? Oh, okay. It's the code up above. Alright. Because we're going to reference something, it needs to be, you know, somewhere from before. Then gl compile shader. Because the biggest thing right now is getting to this as much as possible, because I'm not going to have much time for programming. Because the animation itself, for the work, I underestimated it heavily. It's bad. It'll be out, definitely this month, just not the way I want it to. It'll screw with me. Especially for the other stuff, which means I'm going to have to make a lot of changes. Which will be funnier if this whole issue with the job ends up with me immediately leaving. Because, yeah, I'm going to be in a bit of a desperate situation, but YouTube will do my job, essentially. It'll be risky, but worth it if it succeeds. Right, because it's just a log out. Shader, vertex. Oh, because I can make it anything I wanted to say. Yeah, that's fine. There you go. Because I can make it seem... Probably, yeah, I just want to leave for now. Small things like those I can edit later, but it's just a matter of just getting the code right. And basically... Yep. Copy and paste. Instead of vertex, fragment. Okay. There's another function in here. The problem is, I don't know it. Just want to make sure everything's switched from vertex to fragment, so it doesn't actually, you know, error with the fragment, but then still throw out vertex. Just to double check. Always double check. Fragment. Okay. Because you always want to kind of have something like that in there. And then you do, let's see. Oh, that's right, delete the shaders. I need to go read about that again too. It's been a while. I need to say solder shader. Yeah. Keep. That program is what's used to make basically run. Oh, right. You create the program. It attaches the shader. Stop it. Alright, let's see. What are you attaching to? The shader program. With what? The vertex shader. So all that those characters that I put in, you know, in the very beginning. There you go. That's the code itself. So you basically take that, basically these previous ones. Basically, you made it. You basically reference the code up there. That's the actual code. Runs everything. Checks to see if it actually does run. If it doesn't, gives you an error. And then you attach them to the program, and then you link it. That way, when you go call for that program, you don't have to call each shader individually all the time. It's in this program. That way, keeps it simplified. Which, yeah, good. But that's going to get changed later on because, quite frankly, why do it this way when you can make a header? Or something else where you can call it off just from its existence. And then again, check to see if it succeeded. And I really get sick of them doing that stupid crap. Instead of keeping it like this, the brackets, they for some reason want one up here next to the parentheses, and it's just annoying because when you try to line things up or, you know, try to make sure you have the right amount, you gotta start looking elsewhere. When it make reading easier, not more difficult. Okay, then we do error, shader, program, linking, score failed. Nope. Give the nope info log so you can see what the problem originated at. And after that, you delete the shaders because it'll take up memory. It's already in the program, so the program's already running. And that way, you know, you already have the shaders themselves. The shader. But there's no point in having the shaders in there if, you know, it's already in the program. I'm not doing that. Nope. I've done it enough times. I've done it way more times than I needed to. I don't like that either. Because, yeah, that's the vertices for like an object. And then you have inside indices. I know we start from 0 because computers always start from 0. Also, stop doing that. Don't need to note that. But of course, you know, for him, we want to teach someone. You want to you want to make sure people, even if they know it, it's still good to have it there. Like even with me, freaking, there's things that I'll forget. So you set up the shaders. You gave it the oh right, the indices and the vertices. I need to go look that up again. The difference between indices and vertices because shader, linking vertex attributes. Element buffer. Oh, right. Indices the for the overlapping, so it's not duplicating the memory because it only takes 3 points and that's it. You gotta do another 3 points, but if you want it to be a solid object, you just gotta do it again, which not ideal for memory. So you have indices, so it knows which one is being repeated. Okay. Then you create the VBOs. Okay, VBO, not VBO, VAO and EBO. Vertex buffer, something. Objects. So, vertex buffer objects, vertex array objects, and then I forgot what E is. But it's also another part of the loop as well, because it won't create anything without them. Which, I mean, granted, they did make it easier. No, not at, and, ampersand. Yeah. It needs a pointer to the program. Gen vertex array. Huh? GL? What's happened? Undefined. Unsigned int EVO, VAO, EVO. Yeah, and it says right behind it. Yeah. Let's do it again, just in case. GL, text, arrays. Yeah, happens. One letter. One letter is all it takes to break code. And given Aliens Colonial Marines, that should be a hard lesson that every programmer should know. And of course they'll say, I know. Yeah, you say it all you want. All it takes is having it once. GL bind text array, VAO, GL bind buffer, GL array, buffer, VAO. Static sort of draw. Element underscore array underscore buffer EBO. Yeah, it's basically just running all the code through, going through the pointers, telling what to do. Basically going through that pipeline. So VAO, VBO, EBO. Basically, it's handling each of the process of dealing with the indices, the vertices, and how it's supposed to be handled in this render. Which, funny enough, it's all part of OpenGL. These are just commands for OpenGL, so you don't have to do it yourself manually, because apparently they were doing that a long time ago. Not ideal, but I mean, when I'm having complete control, just, I mean, hey, you got complete control. Just no disputing it. But it also meant you had to do a lot more work. Which, funny enough, you probably could still do it. It's just, don't need to. Because for games, they're simple. It's like the same thing with come on. Stop being a dick. Pointer 0. I know. Let me guess what I've pointer, not point. Ta-da! Anyway. Because right now, what I mean by games are simple is just anyone can make up rules, anyone can make up ideas. They just need the tools. And sure, you could do things like game engines. The problem is, you have pricks like Tom Sweeney with his Unreal site. Granted, yeah, if you're a company, you make money, but when you say you're gonna, teach but demand money for it, yeah, you just screw off. It's worse when others try to do the same exact thing as them. It's like, come on. And that limitation creates problems. Do not unbind. They call it a GL vertex chip pointer. Registered VBO as the vertex. Attributes bound vertex buffer object, so afterwards we can safely unbind. However, do not unbind the EBO while VBO is active as the bound element buffer object is stored in the field. Yeah, basically he's saying there's certain things in memory already in one of those processes. If you take it out, it loses it, and now it's going to be sit there staring at you, angry. You know what? I might as well. Do not unbind EBO while EBO is active. Just as a note, just to make sure, because I'm going to come back anyway. I'm going to mess with it again. Except this is the actual code from the other one. This is what he was following, but he modified it. Oh. Oh! I forgot he also added little things in there, too. GL polygon mode, GL underscore front and back, GL line. But again, GL line. There's a lot of commands for this. You never know it all. Here's the thing now. Yeah, made the window, so it's got all the other prerequisites in there. Process the input, does the buffer. Now you need to actually input. Because you made that program, it needs to be activated somewhere. This is where it needs to be activated. Find vertex array, VO. Draw elements, GL underscore triangles, which is this next issue because all those coordinates, it's in the program itself, which fine for him showing off certain things of how certain code works. That's fine, but overall, if you're talking about a game, that's a lot of vertices. Like, no. Oh, right. After the pull events, then you before terminating, GL delete. Oh, right. Would it? You know, I'll test that later. Because that would be curious. And then GL delete. So I understand it's for. I'm gonna probably save this before I execute. Or at least my little test. And everything else should be fine. Yep, because that's for all that. Now, run it. Should run. Error. Local variable is not initialized. 85 and 84. Uh-oh. Oh, shoot. Hold on. I think I disobeyed the number one rule. Yep. Need to get rid of it. Yeah, because you can't initialize something and initialize it again later on. Once it's initialized once, that's it. You don't do it twice. Because that creates a paradox, and computers don't like a paradox. Oops. Yep, there you go. Ta-da! I mean, programming is easy once you understand the commands and everything. But the problem is people don't want to teach the commands. They want to teach everything else. Oh, cool. It's like, yeah, computers can do a lot of stuff. It's neat, but can't achieve it if you don't understand it. So, there's a polygon one, and I gotta go find a code now. Render loop, oh, wait, whoop. There you go. And then what it's actually supposed to look like. Because I don't want to do it in polygons anyway. It's a useful line I'll have, but I'll use it somewhere else. Safe. No, that's the post-processing effects. Never mind. But I'll still keep it. Decent code. Now, the one thing I want to do is save. What? No. Okay, yeah, I just want the code to be saved to the computer. What I want to know is this. Because if you don't delete them before it terminates, because you still run, and then when you close, nothing happens. Well, nothing happens visually in front. I'll keep them open just because, well, one, I think it's supposed to ease it out in terms of memory. So when it is closing, it has more and more as it goes to keep closing it down. So, leave it as is. It's fine. 1 hour, Well, because I already did the setup and everything else. I got everything set up. There's another one that's more useful than this. Like, they actually go really into depth of how things work. The problem is, they forgot one aspect. They don't tell you crap about the other programs that need to be involved. GLSL. Shaders always begin with the version declaration. Yeah, followed by a list of input and output variables, uniforms, and its main function. Uniforms. Oh, right, this is the actual. Hold on. If I'm really, yep. Oh, hold on. This is actual shaders. This is where the problem begins. Yeah. This is where the problems begin because I understand how it works. The problem is when he tries to take the code and puts it somewhere else, which, like I said, for organization purposes, that is necessary. But for freaking the way he did it, yeah, he added another freaking file. C math. And I think that's the one thing. It's the same thing with everything else. A lot of people just they really are retarded in one thing because they don't understand aspects. Look at, for example, like C math. Never heard of it. What is it? Don't know. Ain't gonna, well, just says it's a file that you need so you can run other code. Great, wonderful. How? What? It's like telling me I need an engine. Okay, how does it work? Yeah. Terrible fucking advice. I mean, my God. I mean, if take a gun nut for example. If you tell him the gun works because it goes bang, he's probably gonna be pissed. It doesn't just go bang. It's whole chemical reactions and everything else that happen inside of it. Yep. Just double check, make sure everything's window check. Context, look glad. Builds and compiles the shaders, link the shaders. Oh, wait. Create program. Fragment? Fragment. Okay. Oh, good. Okay, I put it in there. And then make sure to see if it'll check. Then delete the shaders so you don't need it. Floats. Hold on. Where are the indices? Let me just double check. Uniform is a useful tool for setting attributes that maintain uniform. Blah. Okay, no, he did it somewhere else. I think he's already made the shader elsewhere. Let's play shaders. Ins and outs. Shaders are nice little programs in their own, but they're part of a whole for that reason. Inputs and outputs. Well, yeah, because a computer would be probably quite useless if it didn't have inputs or outputs. Because, I mean, it's supposed to take inputs and modify them. Give an output. Kind of, basically a calculator, essentially. Just a little more versatile. Virtual shader should receive some form of input, otherwise it would be pretty ineffective. Well, here's the issue. He's giving me a fragment and a vertex. If I was saying, well, yeah, but here's the thing. He's got all this code. This isn't teaching much. Because I'm reading through this and he's screwing up already. He's got code, and I already, because I've already done it God knows how many times, I already know. But for someone who's reading this for the first time, they won't get it. I mean, that's what I mean. It's incompetence. It's like it's like you're so far up your own ass and not realizing that, yeah, all this is perfect. It's great. It's wonderful. And then I go down in the comments because I have looked before, and freaking people are confused. It's like, yeah, if you're confused, your little instructions didn't do well. Because I don't seem to understand. It's like you made a bunch of code. It's okay. You want the say for whatever shader. Time out. You gotta give it the version number. Give it some ins. Give it an out. Uniform, and then whatever that is actual code for it. And that's what we're supposed to use for the shaders. The problem is he's explaining all of this. He then gives you actual code, that could be used. But then it's like, well, no, actually, like, it's just so he has version core. Oh no, that's I'm looking at the wrong one. Yeah, layout location 0, effect 3, a position, void a, void main. And then, because he changed it. But the problem is you changed it and didn't really say anything about it. Because he's showing all these other commands and everything else, and it's like, you put it in a format of a different file, not this. So, how would they make 2 and 2 together? Unless, they actually paid attention. Well, I say paid attention. Even if you paid attention, you probably still won't get it because you're seeing it as this and not the actual code layout. No, 4. Then void main, GL position. Boop. Yeah. There you go, 4. Then go to frag void main. Nope. And that's right. He wants to in effect 4 vertex color. And that's basically he's trying to show the communication between the two shaders. Because you always have the vertex, that's all the vertices and everything else. And then fragment, that does deal with the color. So it's taking all of this information vertex color that it's already getting. And so, okay, you give me all these vertices, it's going to place it out there. This is the actual color for them. Alright, fine. Puts it in fragment, tells it, hey, I want this in color. Alright, there you go. Done and done. And you do, nope, that. So when I do the code now, I don't think it changed anything. Yep, there you go. But yeah, but it's the same thing. I need to eliminate several other things because his code. Because like I said, I understand what he's trying to do. It's just, why would you do this? Or rather, why'd you do it this way? So indices don't need. Because overall, I'm gonna have something. I'm gonna need a loader essentially, something to come in and be like, I need this object. Load in the file. Done. You want animations? Everything will be tied to it. It's gonna have to be like grouped up too. Make it a little more easier. So I don't need the top right. Negative 0. Take you out. Make you 0. Boop. Right. Because he's trying to make it a triangle anyway. Alright, VBO. EBO is gone. VAO, no EBO. VAO, bind buffer, sub. attribute pointer, enable vertex array, 3, float. Okay. Already have that. So basically eliminated, yeah, he eliminated everything for the EBO. Yeah. Bind buffer. Wait a minute. Vertex array. There's no more bind buffer. Bind vertex array. So yeah, because it's no longer there, you don't need it. And then I left that there just because, quite frankly, it might come in handy. Right there, bind vertex array, VAO. Oop, wait a minute. GL bind vertex array. VAO. Boom. Okay. Meanwhile, should still be relatively the same. Clear. Use program. VAO. Wait, what? No, I guess then again, if you already, yeah, if it's already bound, then you don't need it. You don't need to bind it twice. Might cause problems. Draw elements. Draw triangles. 0 and 3. Yeah. Give me a sec. Value. GLW get time. Hello. This is a command I'm gonna need. Float. Green value equals static _ cast. Float. Sign. Value divided by 2.0 plus 0.5. Text. Color location. There's another thing most people don't understand about the computers. Shader. Program. Yeah, figure as much. For F, vertex, color, location, 0.0F, value 1.0F, and done. There you go. Swap the buffers, poll events. So you wonder why everything went out. Oh, just a lot of to say. Okay, it's just really long. For some reason. Poll events. GL delete first. Don't need EBO because it doesn't exist anymore. And then everything else, which means run it. Problems, you say? Not surprising. Too few arguments in auction call. Yeah, see, this is my point. No idea what GL draw elements is, because I don't know what its freaking function is. And you know what the funny thing is? This is verbatim. Draw GL triangles. Okay. Draw arrays. Oh, you son of a gun. And that's another thing I don't think you realize. Okay, there you go. Okay, it's... I mean, NVIDIA's freaking Shadowplay is freaking recognizing it. Which is weird. Which also means I want to get rid of debug console at some point. At least, you know, before launching anything like that. quick question. Yep, that's an issue. That'll be something to resolve later. It's the whole resizing. Should resize, how much, it's got to actually render onto, not render on with, essentially, or based upon the screen size. Here's the one issue. Delete. VBO, VAO. Nah. So you have float green value. Okay, static cast, whatever that means. Float, okay. So sine time value. Time value is basically get time, essentially. Divided by 2.0 plus 0.5. Which, again, don't know. But the thing is, everything runs. It does everything it's supposed to do, or was asked of it. Color locations, F, green values, well, there is no green value. Or rather, not enough to actually change it. Now, that's the original. Just run through it again. Oh, really? So you put all that code in there and only find out, yeah, he did put it in there. The issue is he put up the setup. Funny thing, this isn't in here. All right, you know what? Fine. Take you out. Jail position, effect 4, A position. No. Void main definitely stays because that there's no negotiating that. Vertex color. He should have waited until he made this into a header and then started messing with it, because going through each line manually reading like this, yeah, nope, not in. Uniform. It is now our color comrade. Let's see. Void main, frag color equals our color. Question. Just out of curiosity. Would you look at that? So I was right. So essentially it's just, god damn it, Shadowplay. But that's what's supposed to be happening, essentially. So every second that goes by, it's altering the colors of every pixel in between those 3 points. Which, that's supposed to be happening. Still gonna look through the code just in case. Yeah, shaders, vertices. I don't really need to look at that. It's the other ones, the loops. Time value, blah, blah, blah. Nope, still the same. Delete the arrays, yeah, so. He just modified one bit. And then he starts explaining about the what's the best way to call it? Memory. It is memory. It's something else though. It's basically how it's reading the code, like the vertices and everything else. And it's just, I mean, I kind of get it. It's you basically have 24 bytes for each vertex. So you have 12 for the X, Y, and Z, and another 12 for red, green, and blue. And then basically those 24 is considered a stride. But the problem is you have to have an offset because color only does strides of 12. And given how XYZ is 12, yeah, you kind of need to move it along and be like, stop it. Otherwise, it will misconstrue XYZ as RG and B, which that'll create problems. Fun stuff. Now, what he wanted to do, yeah, here we are. So let me go ahead and do this. I just want to put this in here. funny enough, I don't think it should alter too much. It's mainly just messing with the shaders. Okay, well, he also did a lot of altering. Layout, location equals 1. Back 3, a color. Yeah, come on. Yep. Out back 3, our color. You gotta make sure, the thing is, you're doing the code now. You had to do the double checking and everything else. This is why they don't like doing it this way, because, yeah, it makes sense, but, yeah, please no. You'll be giving yourself less work, not more. Color equals a color. No. Yeesh. There. Make sure the fragment's right. Out. Yep. You can do an out. You need an in. Not 34, back 3. Out. Color. Guess you don't need the uniform anymore. That color, which means that doesn't. Actually, no. Keep that. And then go from there. Come on, stop it. It's like, granted, you're trying to be useful. I get it. But stop. Stop trying to give me freaking other crap. Alright, take a quick stroll. Fragment program. Vertices. Ooh, he changed the vertices. Son of a gun. Oh, that's right, because of the whole. Yeah. I know why. 0, 5, 5, 5, 5. Negative. Alright, just add on. Alright. F. 0.0F. 0.0F. There you go. That should be the rest of it. So it's actually providing its colors as well. So you have you, where you're there, the position. So you have the vertices on left side, and then you have colors, right side. VO, no EVO, so that means oh, something doesn't look right. Something got changed here. Size of blah. Float. Oh, no, still the same. Just this got, I was right, but what number is all it takes? Right, because you have the multiple points that is more than just. Yep, 1. 3, 6, change you to 1, because this is dealing with the other location within the fragment, or not fragment, vertex. Foot 0. But you need to be void. No 0. Okay. Because he's trying to make it read off of memory from the code itself, and he has 2 sets of it. Oop, 3. Yes, the other one for you. One for you. Got it. Yeah. So you're gonna need 2 of these to make sure, and he has to identify each one. He got rid of the bind. And then he moved it outside. Use program. Okay, half an hour. Well, it's not much time, but should be enough to at least deal with this BS. Get rid of this for a bit. Bind vertex it. Yep, that's why he moved around. Bind vertex. Ray. No. Draw rays. 3 is still the same. Just cut. Order is always important. I'm gonna keep this. Because these are commands I haven't seen before, so they'll come in useful. Alright, so it should work. Undefined variable vec, incompatible options for link. Linking failed, fragment, yep. Isn't it always fun when things don't work? Swap buffers, poll events. Bind vertex array, VAO, draw arrays, clear color. That's this one, color, process. Alright, so that's the rest of it. That works. The problem is, let's use the program outside of it. Linking and everything else failed. Which I'm assuming, because eventually he's going to have to show the other stuff. Vertex trip pointer. Enable vertex trip array. 0. Void. Float. Size of 6. Nope. Knows both would be fine. VBO. Size of vertices. Static draw. Static draw. Good. Bind vertex VEL. Buffers. Sign injure. Good. 0. Yep. Colors are right. Positions are correct. Okay. So everything else is fine. Yep. So we know that the linking failed. And if I had to guess, it's in the code itself for the shaders. Which I really shouldn't be looking at. Well, it's always better just in case. Check. Get the fragment shader. Which he is bunching up his code a lot, so it makes it harder to read. But you know, for someone who wants to teach and show off his code, yeah, maybe making it easier to read is the better option. If it's worked before, then. But that's the thing. I'd rather be thorough. Most people would rather just skip around and hit here and there. It's like, yeah, makes sense. It would make it go faster, but you might as well be 100% certain that has everything in place. Right, loading glad, loading that. So, hello. No, that one didn't change either. None of that. So, just gotta double check the code in the fragments. Carrier, vertex fader, vertex shader source, 330 core, layout 0, vec 8th position, a color, locations 1, out vec 3, our color, void main, GL position, vec 4 a position 1.0, no. Okay, our color equals a color. That ends, then you go to the fragment shader. Boop. So I at least read it a little better. Out vec 4 frag color, in vec 3 our color. See, but the thing is, our color equals is a color. Main frag color equals. Yep, there it is. One little thing. That's all it took to break it. Yep, there you go. One. All it takes is one. But they want to disregard it, say it's not important, saying freaking, oh, it's just one little thing. It shouldn't affect anything. It's a computer. It will complain to you. Or at worst, the worst part it could do is freaking not only complain, but freaking uh, just run it. Run it without telling you. That's the worst thing that could happen. And that one works. Yep, so everything else works. Now, the hard part. The BS has been holding me back for freaking years at this point because he doesn't bother. He doesn't explain it because the problem is he wants to make a shader. Fine. He also wants to read. It's like, okay, now you're talking about different commands and other things within the computer. If it's going to read, well, there's certain things he needs to do. Oh, in classes, which is the other funny part too, because they try to sit there and say, "Oh, you don't need to learn about, need to completely understand programming." It's like, you're talking about classes now. This is a whole different ball game. You're talking about something that can change its scope and freaking be modified and prevent modifications. It's no, 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 no. You need to learn the language. You need to know the language, because if you don't, this whole thing goes down in a handbasket. Okay. No, I just guess I was hitting buttons and didn't realize it. So what he wants is a header. Because the thing is, did you keep pragma? No, he didn't keep pragma. He did get the if and def. Yeah, keep it. Then again, define. Basically, this is more or less a way to say, is this already defined? If it isn't, put these in. If it is, ignore them. So it's kind of a precaution, essentially. Yeah, you need all the GL headers and everything else for that. This one is from Windows, so he says when he doesn't spell things right. What's in CUD? Cute. Stream. Need stream, and you need IOStream. And as far as I understand it, it's gonna be useful. It's gonna be necessary, not useful. Necessary. Oh, yeah. Shish. And if. So he'll stop complaining to me. And then you can see how slow it is to realizing it did get closed. Then he wants a new class. Now here's where the scoping comes into play, as far as I understood it. I need to go back and, you know what? Let's sign int ID. Do that. Reads and builds the shader. Character, vertex path, and this is where the reading comes in. Because if it's done right, because last time I got stuck on it for way too long, I just gave up, and I wasn't able to get any help. So use activate shader. Well, that should be self-explanatory. Void set bool string. But I also practice a lot more with the language, so definitely understand it a lot more. Set int. Let's see. Well, keep it uniform in some degree. For reading purposes, of course. Because eventually, I mean, I'm not gonna exist in this world forever, and if everything goes well and everything, you know, bring back the gaming industry the way it was, I'm gonna have to release the engine. But, you know, gotta make it a tool first. Turn it into something actually useful. Because if I can't, it'll make it difficult for other people to understand, and then it's like, what's the point? Before I send it out there, it's gotta be valuable to me. I don't have the end if. Alright. We use several preprocessor directives. Yeah. Use a little line, blah, blah. The shader class holds the idea the shader programs. Constructor requires the file pass the source code of the vertex and fragment shader respectively that we can store on disk as simple text files. That will actually also add several utility functions to ease our lives a little. Use activates the shader program and all set. Functions query a uniform location and set its value. We're using C++ file streams to read the content from the file into several string objects because it cannot read it unless it's in a string object. And that's kind of the problem because I haven't seen that before when I first tried it. Now I have, but fail bit and bad bit I'm still off on. I've seen it, but I haven't really worked with it because I haven't really had a reason to use those commands. Also, are you done? No. So, you go here. I'll make sure for the music. I'll make sure I'll go back through it, get the URLs, put them in the description, in case anyone gets curious. But yeah, the problem here's the second part. This is the issue because I think a lot of programmers do that, where they assume you will just know where to put the code. It's like order is important. Say, for example, like math. Say you want to do 10 divided by 5. You want to get, or even better, 10 divided by something to equal 5. So, okay, we do 2. Well, how do you get 2? Or it's like, where does 2 come from without you putting it in there? So, okay. So you add a couple of numbers to do something. Well, now the order does matter. Because, say, for example, you said 10 plus 1 minus 2, so, or minus, say you want to do, I don't know, 8. Well, or say, let's do this, 10 plus 1 minus 9. Okay, you expecting 9 and 1 to subtract from each other, and then, yeah, no. Still get the same answer, yeah, but the order, if you wanted it done a certain way, that matters. And that's why when he made this, it's like, okay, you want to read from file and everything else, which I'm going to want to do anyway. The problem is he puts out all this code, doesn't tell you where it's at, and just goes through it. It's like, no, you don't want to do this, because that's how things get screwed up. So you have the shader class, and you have the new source code. Let me go ahead and OBS. Okay, that's the biggest issue to have, is doing that. It's essentially, this is the setup, this is the class, alright, and then he wants to use it, fine. Retrieve the vertex and fragment source code from file path. So basically, if this would be useful, at least for me, because I can put it off to the side. If I want to modify it, I can go modify it there. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to, it's not part of the code. And say, for example, someone wants to come in and modify themselves, they don't have to worry about looking through a bunch of freaking files. Okay, there was one game engine that I found. It was a goddamn mess. Like, files over here, files over there. You want to find this one? Well, good luck. It's like, no. So, it's not really something I care too much about. But, this is why I kept using the source code. Yep, and he changed it all like a fool. Because he didn't tell you where it's supposed to go. And that's the biggest part. See, the thing is, he made a... You know what? Well, I'm not going to do it his way. But... okay, it's just the shaders. He hasn't done the vertices and everything else. It's not calling in any files or anything like that yet. Alright. So for now, the header, it says already put in the program. I don't have to do the way he's doing it. It's weird. Shader, glad, f string, IO stream. Good. That's a class. Use unsigned integer for the ID. Construct generates the shader on the fly. Shader, constant, vertex path, constant try. Okay. Retrieve vertex fragment source. String. First, you gotta do this, and because it's local. Eh. Okay, you know, we'll worry about that later. String fragment. So that's initialized. Oh. Whoops. Sorry. Yeah, I know. Like I said, computers love to complain. I just start looking upon myself and realizing, maybe I am a computer. Maybe I am the problem. Shader. He says, even though there's a D&D game, he's got a freaking... He says D&D. Good thing I said that, because I actually forgot to ask something with him. He's saying... Which, I'm going to redo that. Sure, if stream objects can throw exceptions, because you're going to need that too, because if... Like I said, if you can't give it the ability to complain to you, you'll never know, and it'll run. And that's the worst thing that could happen, because it'll be a problem, and you'll... I'm about to say, that should have been fine if... Bit... Bad bit... Copy that. Paste. Then you hit the F. And then there's a weird command, try. Let's see, open files, shader file, text path, which is the other issue too I'm finding, because what has been defined as the path? Path. Oops, keep forgetting to change that. Stream. Shader. Stream. That's the other issue I'm gonna have too, because I really don't like the idea of the game companies being able to, well, make a game and be able to take it away from you and say, screw you, I want this to be able to run whenever you want. Once you buy it once, that's fine. If I get to a point where I'm old and ancient and freaking don't care, because I have no need for money, because I'm already on death's doorstep, it's alright, fine. Release it all for free. Or at least put it in an archive or something. Files, buffer contents into streams, yeah. Because the problem is it needs to be transferred. vshader file dot rebuff. Because if you don't, it won't be able to read it. It needs to be translated. No, translated is the best way to describe it. All it's doing is just transferring it from one file type to another, so it can be read. That's right. Close file handlers. Shader file dot close. That's the other thing I need to worry about too, because if people do want to modify it, I better make sure they don't screw with its naming. So I'll probably just put a note in there at some point. And then, nope. Come on, fingers. Convert stream into string, yeah. And then, it's a lot of conversions. Vertex code, shader, stream, code equal shader. Okay, fragment code, vertex code. Make sure it's capitalizations are correct. F shader stream, V shader stream. And of course, you know, which I don't care about that. Then catch. Stream. Oop. Failure. Pointer, E, whatever that means. That's why I hate this. Oh, okay, I see. This is why we like the color coding. Not because we're children, it's just easier to identify things. Error, shader, not successfully read. E dot what? Whatever that is. Hold on. You impatient, insipid Iron Hand. Alright. I said the other catch is done. Okay, it's still going. Jesus. Character. Shader. It. Let me just double check. Shader code. Okay, jeez. Code.string. Yeah, even he made a mistake. Shader code equal. But I mean, a mistake in terms of computer, or a mistake because of, you know, readability. Yes, and I say readability because it's still the same. It understands what he wants to do. You can compile the shaders. Assign int vertex fragment vertex equals gl create shader gl underscore vertex shader gl shader source text one shader code null. That's the other thing. They have parameters too. GL compile shader. Okay. Vertex equal GL create shader. GL vertex shader. GL shader source. Vertex 1 and V shader code. Null. GL compile shader. I suspect, yep, it's the same, just fragment. Change that from V to F. Come on. Because it keeps trying to add up some help. It's like, no, please stop. Alright, double check. Yep, okay, I did miss one. But I'm going to put it in between. Check compile errors. Vertex. Text. I need to do the same. Check compile errors. Check. Okay, compile. Errors. It might be a late one. I'll check that in a second. No, it's got the proper syntax. Check compile errors is not This is why I hate when they do that crap. Fragment. Because it's not identifying as a command, it's identifying as a freaking identifier. Initializer? Identifier? Yeah. Basically identifying as something else that is like in the code and not a command itself. I'll go look that over in a second. And I mean, it's a computer. It is right. There is nothing identifying it. Because if that's meant to be a command, it ain't right. Now if I say put it back, put you here, so I have a little pop-up. I just want to. I'm gonna copy and paste it just to see what'll happen. Nothing, because I knew I had it right. See, that's what I mean. And I'm really hoping he's not calling from somewhere else, because if he is, it needs to be identified. That will cause problems if it does that. ID equals GL create program. We'll keep going for now, just for now. Attach shader, because I can easily, because yeah, I won't know if it'll work, because it won't be able to output it, because it's being told not to, but for the most part, just want to see how far it'll get. And then go back and, you know, try to get things to work. Attach GL link. Program ID. Check. You moron. Alright, well. Put you in notes. Then it should bring that as an error. Then it should bring that as an error. Yep. And then, of course, delete the shaders. Because I don't need that taking up memory. Alright. So that's all done. Shall use program ID. Okay, I see. No. There we go. String name bulldog. Okay, yeah, I better do it. Yeah, I know that's to activate the user because right there. But for you, utility uniform functions. What the hell? Wait. Oh, that's why. It's not gonna. Yeah, it's not gonna recognize it because that's in the way. Uniform. One I. GL get uniform location. D name dot C string. Int value. Boop. Now you are supposed to be. Oh, okay. It doesn't even explain. This is just each function individually. Okay, it's just part of it. GL uniform. What GL get uniform location. D name dot C string. Oops. Something happened here. I swear to God, if I hit freaking... No, I didn't. Good. There I go. Uniform one I. GL get uniform location, ID, name, string, value. Gotcha. There's that one, and then we do this one. F. Get, you know, you're not helping me. You're blocking my freaking view location. And let's see underscore string value. then, boop. He made it a private. Utility function for checking shader compilation linking errors. Oh my fucking god, I hate when they do that. God. At this point, I'm starting to understand why computers hate us. It's like, you morons. You tell me to check for something that doesn't exist yet. So, well, yeah. We kind of do. Value. Let's see. Set float. Yep, set float, blah, blah. Don't end it yet. Need a private. Gotcha. And then I need to freaking add a note. It's a function for checking shader compilation / linking errors. Just want to make sure. Yep, it's there for the program. Compile. Yep, okay. And because this should be named void check compile errors. And then it brings up a hub. Wait, what? Okay, yeah, see, fragmented. Because it's not assigned. Alright. Type. There we go. One second. Okay. Sus. Character info log. Oh, increase how much memory it gets. I mean, I guess it makes sense. If type does not equal program. Ah, crap. I gotta move it. Can you stop trying to resize and let me get the handle? Jeez. I won't be able to see chat for a little bit. Get shader, IV, shader. Can you finger? Stop it. Compile status. Pointer to where? Where am I pointing? Success. If isn't successful. I have a question. Int. Really? No, I guess you could do an integer for a boolean. Yeah. Okay, I can scroll. Good, because I need more space. But at least this time I can see this chat. Let's see, GL shader IV shader GL underscore. Wait a minute. This seems awfully familiar. GL get shader info log. Shader 1024 info log. You know what? Fine. Error shader underscore compilation underscore error of type space type. Info log. Okay, that's just stupid. No. No, I'm not putting that in there. Screw you. Well, this I'll add though. But it's just massive lines of just dashes. It's like, why? I get you want to organize things a certain way, but no, not like that. And because I want to save time here, no. I can save time by freaking doing this right. Uh-huh. If the program... Okay, so here's program, right? Uh-huh. Else. Okay, can you... You know what? There. I'm just gonna copy it because it's getting a bit ridiculous to look at. Okay, so else, paste, boom. Uh-huh, uh-huh. And then that one goes to void. Yep. And that's the rest of it. And then end if. Gotcha. There we go. I'm also not putting this in here. Screw off. Because it's beyond... Stop it. Freaking thing. Fly. And then... Type. Boom. Alright. That should be the header done. I'll keep it up because I'm going to check after the stream. I don't have much time, but... And I think I'll extend this a little bit more. Now, I just need the source. I need the chat. Because I know my timing for streams isn't exactly ideal. Oh. So... Oh, alright. I need to go actually look. He's saying it's... Well, that's the way he named it, so... If I'm correct... I mean, I'm fairly certain that is how you, you know, include... No, except for this. No, stop it. Well, we'll skip this for now. I think it just needs to kind of, quote-unquote, reboot. Uh-huh. Oh, well, that's right, because it's already there. I'll keep this for now. I'll still modify the code. Uh-huh, load glad. He still has to float. Ooh, wait. He changed something. Glad. Build a compiler, sure. So after loading glad. That's a shader. You know what? Oops. Oh, whoops. You're the actual note. Put that there. I hate it does that because I would like to define everything until float. Link shaders, blah, blah, blah. Wait, what? There we are. Boop, there you go. Take all of that and do shader. Oop. Shader. 3.shader. Okay, I see what he's doing here. This is the actual file name, so it can actually find it. So you have one for the fragment shader, one for the vertex. So you don't have to do anything. It's already defining, you know, here's the name of the file. Go find it. Put it into the header. The problem is, it doesn't have the header. So I'll ignore the errors for now. Like I said, I think I have to do a reboot or something to get it recognized. Why are you a problem? Oh, because you're a problem. Also, do you... Quick question. Yes. Yes, because I saw that. And yeah. So, he does the vertices. He... Do-do-do-do-do. Oh, wait a minute. Unsigned integer. Okay, go past all that. Link shaders. Oh, no, it's still there. Yep, Vivo, VO, still bind buffers, still deals with the vertex, da, da, da. Don't need to use program, because that's somewhere else. While process, that's the window. Clear buffer? Buffer's right, that's still there, just adding our shader.use, which is defined elsewhere, but it's got its own problems. Swap buffer, da da da, delete. Oh, delete vertex arrays. That don't. No, don't delete the program. Terminate, and everything else is there. All right, that's all good. I just need to somehow get it to understand what the shader is. Then I need the other issue because he has the program itself elsewhere. Ugh. So here's the. Well, that's the other thing. I should be. No, it's in there. Oh, hold on. Oh, yeah, that's a slow, so. Okay, give me the air. Yep. Cannot find this. I'm gonna have to give you everything, aren't I? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Jesus. I hate that. I didn't learn about that a long time ago either. It's still gonna have problems because of the shaders. Never mind. Must write to GL position. Well, yeah. Shader file not successfully read because there is no file. This doesn't matter though. It works. That's the main thing. It works. It just. Wait a minute. Where are you getting your vertex information from? Hold on. Oh. Oops. Yeah, because I didn't really get rid of this. I kept it as a keepsake because just in case something does go wrong, I can easily revert instead of like, having to deal with all that crap. But yeah, now if I do that, now it should run. Just doesn't know what to do, or it still does. See, color I can understand, but it still got fragment. How did it get fragment? Or was it something else in the code itself? I don't know. All I know is it works. I just need to modify everything, get the files in place, so we can actually find it and read it. Can I please shorten this? No. Nah. Other than that, that's pretty much it for today. But for the good news, it worked for the most part. That's the good news. So we'll close that. It didn't really... Oh, I was doing all that typing. I was keeping you guys covered. No. Oh, well. But other than that, yeah. That was just for today. Princess couldn't do anything. Assuming family stuff. Family matters. So, yeah. But I think I'm going to try to do something with the streams. Although, animations are going to have to get out. I'm off tomorrow, so that's definitely a priority. And there's other things I finally got in line. I'm more like a gun. It's like, I have all these ideas and everything else, but I don't execute it because one thing or another. Except now I have every reason to execute them. So, yeah. So the animation I'm hopefully gonna get done today or tomorrow, which today, right now, not gonna happen because work within a short amount of time. But for everything else, yeah, we'll see. Streams, I don't know. I might do something else aside from work. Maybe. Anyway, next Friday, this coming Friday, I'll probably try to see if we can do Baldur's Gate with Princess. If not, I'll pick a game. So until next time, bye.